That's right. The BKBK podcast is back. I'm your host, Brandon Phillips, and I'm here with my fellow co-host, Kerry Taylor, Brian Taylor, and Captain Kamakena is back.
Back in the house.
As you all know, this is the show where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme.
That's right, they do. At least for 1 week.
You know that. For 1 week. And how big was that win last week?
Huge.
Listen, I predicted a hard-fought game between the Jets and the Cowboys. I also had the Jets losing by a score of 21-14, if you guys remember.
Did you say hard-fought?
Hard-fought, yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. You know, I knew they
I
were going to
remember
battle
that.
up.
Okay, but
Come on, Matt. Let's
Go to the
go back to the
videotape. Warner
Did you
Wolf.
cover the spread?
Warner Wolf.
Yeah. No,
because they were favored.
But you know what? I never expected the Jets to not only win, but to play this well and this balanced. So can we do it again this Monday? Can we do it again? So against the Pats. So let's just talk about it all right? So the first bit of business is the importance of Sam Darnold. And this is what we were talking about. And this is why we were talking about us even having a chance against the Dallas Cowboys, which most people thought at the time had, as far as the NFC is concerned, they were going to be the representatives in the Super Bowl. And for us to even have a chance at that, we needed Sam Darnold. And I think we showed and proved that, and even more because you know what happened? Sam Darnold was the offensive AFC player of the week. 338 yards, 2 touchdowns,
Gotta love it.
1 pick, and he only got sacked once. The dude is a player.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Well, listen, the first thing we proved is Dallas is overrated. Can we all agree on that? I think 4 for 4, we can agree that
They were understaffed. Both of their tackles were out.
we weren't understaffed.
The receiver was out. Their best receiver was out.
So-
But I get
National
it.
Football League.
That
It's the
adds,
National Football League.
That's
Right.
us.
To
That's
play
us too.
games.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
That's everybody.
I agree. I agree.
And then we talked about Darnold, and can he be that impact as far as helping out the defense? He did, right? Being able to keep the offense on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Can he help out the offensive line?
Absolutely.
He absolutely did.
120%.
On that touchdown,
Yeah.
it was all him. That touchdown was all him. The first touchdown with to
Robbie Anderson?
Robbie Anderson
Yeah.
sliding over in the pocket as opposed to trying to get outside of the pocket and stepping into that throw.
Well,
that was it.
But hasn't Robbie Anderson been beating people deep all year?
They said he's been open.
I mean, he's been open. He's gotten a step on people all year. We just haven't had the guy that can get the ball to him. So it's not like it's a speed factor or anything like that. So
he had to actually slow down a bit, just a tad bit for that to receive that.
Yeah, because Sam was under a little bit of duress, but
little
he still
bit,
made
yeah.
it.
That still was kind of in stride, man. You had to really look at it frame by
Mhm.
frame in order to
Yeah.
say he slowed down. But
Slow down.
No,
I had to do it.
yeah, you did.
the Edie Brickell version or the brand Nubian version?
Brand Nubians. All
Absolutely
day.
brand newbie.
Sure. But what did I say? I said the key to the game, if we were going to win, is that Robbie Anderson comes down off of that milk box, man.
Totally.
Yeah, man. That milk carton. He comes up.
Missing no more. We found him.
Yeah.
We found him.
The second longest
He's been
touchdown
located.
in Jet history.
He's been located.
That was right?
I think
Yes.
so.
92 yards. That's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
that's great. Yeah, just like what Kerry was saying, he's been located. Like, we got him. We found him.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of talk. And, I have to admit, and Brian, you should admit as well, we wanted Baker Mayfield bad, but we did have Sam Darnold as our as our 1A.
1A.
Yeah.
All right,
I
hold up
admit
a
to
second. Yeah, Sam Darnold got the dogs barking over here.
Yeah,
So I don't know if
dogs
it's coming
barking.
through on the.
It's coming
it
through.
is.
It's coming through. I don't mind it though. The dogs
Listen,
are out.
we're getting to the point where my remote feed, is becoming one thing after another. Whether it's my daughter walking in,
Oh, it's
in the
fodder.
middle,
It's definitely
that's
fodder.
like the thing.
Right.
Now the dogs bark. My dog will bark whenever it hears any other dog
Squirrel.
barking. It
Squirrel.
has immediate call and response. It's like it's a hip hop dog. It's like
It's a hip hop.
while my dog's in the house, he has to bark.
You know what? I didn't think they were hip.
My dog's a
It's like
she.
DMX over there. Huh?
I didn't think your dog was like a hip hop dog because the dog started barking when we were talking about the Cleveland Browns. I thought it was the dog pound.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. I thought Baker Mayfield was over there getting mad and tight at us.
Yikes.
Since we like Darnold better than we do Baker. You know.
Yikes.
Baker Mayfield, he's mad at me because I I think I'm gonna keep Josh Allen in over him for the rest of the fantasy season.
Wow.
Yeah, you know.
Wow.
I don't know those turnovers though for Josh Allen. He does throw the ball.
Well, so does Baker. So tell him to hush.
No, who doesn't do that? Darno.
You know that, and we just went.
All right,
French
let's knock on wood on that one.
Yes.
Yeah. So, guys and girls at home, we're gonna have a segment in the future, and it's gonna be French. It's gonna be like either Darno or Darius.
That's right. We'll have croissants and baguettes.
Yes, baguettes, and we're gonna drink our cafe with our pinky up like this. Looking well French.
Speaking of food and Sam Darnold,
just like how Kerry's drinking.
Good. You got a shot of that? You got
I did
with the pinky up.
Right.
Totally
pinky up.
I got the call from my mom this week telling me that there was a Sam Darnold spotting in one of her regular Italian restaurants in the West Village.
Oh wow.
Arturo's.
Okay.
So she's sitting there having a little dinner, and Sam Darnold walks in with two of the most gigantic men she's ever seen. One, she said, was a friend from Southern California, and the other was one of the O linemen.
Gotcha.
And she said that the bartender said that the two big guys were drinking a lot, but Sam wasn't drinking at all.
Good, I like it.
Go
So,
Sam,
I like
mess
it.
up that spleen with all that alcohol.
Yeah.
Who
Right.
needs bodyguards when you got your old lineman with you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it is, right?
Especially if you pick up the check, you're all good.
absolutely.
That's part of the that's part of the QB.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, you're
Your
supposed
offensive
to.
lineman protecting you.
Yeah, you daggone right. You better do that. Nah, I agree with Kerry.
It's making me
100%.
think. It's making me think that he might live in Manhattan, and then commute out to Florham Park,
Yeah.
or maybe he has the spot in Florham Park and the Manhattan spot.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the latter.
Yeah, he'd be an idiot not to live in the city.
Right.
It would make total sense to live in the city, Lower Manhattan, Boho, Soho, something like that. You know.
Well, where this
have a spot.
where this restaurant is it's on Houston Street, and it's been there for a million years. Great coal oven pizza. They got live jazz in there and stuff. And it's down the block from my parents' apartment. So
was he? Did you ask her? Did you ask your mom if he was kissing anyone?
Pause.
No, I spreading the
Look
motto,
at this man.
spreading the love.
Because I would have to report his ass. Excuse me.
And I
Pardon my French.
and talking to my mother to get more intel on it. You know, if somebody hadn't told her it was Sam Darnold, she wouldn't have known. So
really, wow, okay,
yeah. My mom is not that big of a Jet fan. But the bartender said, yeah, tell Brian, my dad, let him know that Sam Darnold was in tonight with his posse. But he's out. He's celebrating. He's probably celebrating that offensive player of the week.
Cool.
Sure.
Yeah, he should celebrate
as
that.
well.
Yeah.
He should
And
win even more.
Yeah, and a win even more. And actually, even bigger than that, can this win be used as a catalyst to kind of jumpstart our turnaround for the season?
I know it was a catalyst of him saying, our offense can be unstoppable once we get Chris Herndon back. Yeah. My two picks saying it, son.
Well,
saying it.
Kerry loves it. Hey, listen, I'll give it to you, Kerry. I love it. Go ahead, Kyle.
Chris Hamstring when he gets back.
Chris Hamstring.
Oh, gee whiz.
That's his first hamstrings injury. Come on.
I know, it just disappoints when you're suspended for 4 games and
then you get a hamstring tweak. I totally
because
get it.
Because you drunk drive.
Did we have to bring that up?
That's
It's
self-inflicted.
frustrating.
Self-inflicted, baby.
Well, I mean, it's double frustrating when you have him stashed on your bench in fantasy. But
that's where it's coming from.
Me too.
Oh, yeah,
I see where the venom is coming from.
Genesis.
Deep inside. Yeah. But,
Sure.
when you can make guys on the field better just by your presence, that's a huge thing. I mean, we got guys that we were hoping would play up to at least the way they were billed coming in, like Griffin, the tight end. He probably didn't get cut because of the game that he had last week. When they had to make roster moves this week.
Sure.
And I think that before this game, he may have.
I think you needed a healthy Herndon to really cut him, though, but since he's not healthy, they kind of have to just hold back on cutting him.
I agree.
And now I don't think he's going to be cut at all.
Well, I don't know if this, maybe they'll stash this guy Westco on the practice squad, but I don't think that we're going to see him much longer because they even brought in Jonathan Harrison as a fullback at times.
Wow.
In the I run packages. I don't know if you guys noticed that. About probably 3 times that they brought Harrison in to play fullback.
Wow.
And that's really Wesco's deal. So I think Herndon comes back. You still have Griffin. And then you're probably say Wesco's probably a practice squad stash or.
Well, it takes a long time. They say it takes a long time for tight ends in order to acclimate themselves into the NFL, probably more so than any other role on the offense. A number of things that they have to do as far as blocking and get out in the passing game as well. So I think it just takes a lot for them to get there. So
and knowing how to interpret coverage too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So hopefully they don't put him on the practice squad and he ends up getting picked up by another team or whatever, like Dortch did, as an example. That kind of stinks. But I mean, just getting back to Darnold himself. I mean, listen, he had mono going for a while, didn't know what you were going to get when he came back. Right. Is he going to be 100%? That was another issue as well. And he definitely proved that. So do we have a shot at New England? I think we do. I think New England, when they get too many wins in the season, they start to, crack a little bit. I think their offense has shown a little bit of that. From that perspective, they have a lot of wide receivers that are on the shelf that are injured. And I think if we don't beat ourselves, and that's what a lot of teams like the Giants did last week, they played a pretty good game, but they New England scored on defense and scored on special teams.
Yeah.
So without those 2 touchdowns, it would have looked a lot closer. So we just can't really beat ourselves. And I think if we don't do that and we really play a straight up game and take our opportunities, I think we got a shot at that game on Monday night.
Let me pose a question based on your analysis there.
Yeah.
So let's say that Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick and does his normal thing where he's going to take away the 2 best things that you do. All right.
What are those?
What are those? Right. What are those things that he's taken away from us? Because we showed a lot of different things on offense last week.
Yeah.
So if you're going to look to take away the Le'Veon Bell run game,
we haven't run that well thus far anyway. But go ahead, continue.
Well, I mean, we ran better last week because we were a little bit more spread out, and we were able to put, like Kerry said, those personnels on the field that we've been looking to get on the field. More Bilal Powell, more Montgomery. More both of them at the same time.
And that's perfect. That's perfect. And I think not to cut you off, but I think our 2 best things are Le'Veon Bell and Robbie Anderson. And if you cut that out, then I think we still have plenty of weapons if we utilize them in order to continue to go at them. We just can't turn the ball over.
Do you guys think that a healthy Demaryius Thomas can be as good as Quincy Enunwa?
Yes, absolutely. I think he you might be able to argue that he could be better, given his resume, given his ability to understand route running, given his ability to understand the mismatches
and listen,
that he creates.
The best ability is availability,
right?
And that's something that Enunwa has struggled with the last 2 years plus. And so if Thomas is out there, he's already
right. And he's got an axe to grind.
Absolutely,
and he's been grinding it.
Absolutely.
And that's the point that I was going to make too, Brian. I think it's availability one, and then if Demaryius Thomas were, say, Enunwa's age, I think he surpasses him because let's just remember, Demaryius Thomas had like around 4 or 5 straight Pro Bowls while he was in Denver.
Yeah,
he's a quality receiver. I just hope that he can stay healthy, and if he stays
with
healthy,
Adam Gase,
with Adam Gase.
And let's not forget Crowder.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Crowder.
Not forget Crowder.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So if you're talking about taking away the top 2, are you going to be able to take away Thomas and Crowder as well in the passing game? And then you got Powell out there, and you got
then you
Montgomery,
split Bell out wide just on GP.
Absolutely.
I will tell you right now that the secondary of New England looks like the best secondary in the NFL right now.
But it's top heavy.
It is top heavy.
Yeah.
I give you that.
Yeah.
So what I would say is that if we can sort of neutralize those matchups, and I think this is going to be a breakout session for Quinnen Williams. If he is able to get inside pressure the way that makes the New England quarterback, because I don't like saying his name, the New England quarterback uncomfortable, then that is going to be something that I really am going to pay attention to.
So am I. You know why? Because let's talk about O-lines here for a second. The New England O-line is a little bit beat up, and they've had to do some patchwork kind of replacement. I think one of their guards is out for the season.
Yep.
Also, one of their tackles has been hobbled. So they've had to kind of patchwork, kind of replace things there as well. And as you know, from a team that had a struggling offensive line, you know how important that is. Sometimes it's your line, and sometimes it's your line and the fact that you don't have, say, your quarterback playing, which in our case, you look at the week before Darnold came back, we suffered 10 sacks, and I don't even know how many quarterback hits. 10 sacks. Mm-hmm. And then now he gets, when he comes back against Dallas, it was 1 sack. 10 versus 1. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're able to run the ball a little bit better as well. Keep Dallas just kind of off balance, especially with that linebacking core with DeMarcus Lawrence, that Pro Bowl defensive end as well. Yes, Dallas is a little bit overrated, but they're still a good football team, man.
A good defense.
Still a good football team, a good defense, and you know what? A good offense, too.
A great running game, a solid quarterback. So all of those together, it was a good win.
I just don't want people taking our win away from us as if like, oh, well, Dallas is, not as good. And, okay, we all have our ups and downs. Maybe they're a little bit overrated, but you know what? They can still win the NFC East, and they can still go into the playoffs. They're a good team.
The media has moved on from it. All they're talking about is Cowboys-Eagles this week.
That's true.
Like it's as if the game that we played with them never happened.
No, I don't think so. Well, not the first day. Right now, of course, you got to move on to the NFC East rivals going against each other. But day of, Stephen A. going on,
wow.
going ham on the Cowboys and stuff like that. Because again, we were 0-4.
That's because he hates the Cowboys anyway.
It is. Yeah. But there were a lot of other folks out there as well. And listen, they came out. They're America's team. They're going to make the playoffs. You might as well just write their ticket in order to do that. They begin the season 3-0, and now they're 3-3, and they lose to us.
Yeah.
That really were not the usual 0-4 team you go against, right? Because we didn't have Sam Darnold during those at least 3 of those 4 losses. So.
And again, I think we all agreed too that Dak Prescott isn't on the elite end of quarterbacks in the NFL. He's not in that money elite range. I think we all pretty much were on the same page with that.
Would you swap him out for Sam?
Correctly.
If you today, right now, I'm just asking. Listen. I'm posing questions.
I want to hear this question. I want to hear this. Go ahead.
Today, right? If you had the opportunity to swap him out for Sam Darnold, would you do it?
Absolutely not.
What do you mean swap him out for Sam Darnold? Am I being
Dak
a
Prescott for Sam Darnold? No way.
Straight up trade today, right now.
And we take Dak.
Yes.
That's what you're asking.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I got a 22-year-old quarterback showing his stuff the way that he's showing. Mm-hmm. Look at all this room he's got to grow. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he's already grown.
He hasn't played quarterback his entire high school career. Linebacker. This guy's still learning the position. And
he throws a beautiful ball.
He does.
I love his release too.
Yeah.
Now listen, it's 4-4. I'm not going to do it either. I just posed the question.
No, I love it. I love it.
What if I double down? What if I double down and say Bell and Darnold swap for Elliott?
Oh my God!
Look at these guys playing fantasy. They're playing fantasy.
I still say no. I still say no.
Wow.
That makes it a lot tougher though because Elliott's so young.
It does.
You said wait. So what were the terms again, Kyle? It was
straight up. The
running back
and the quarterback swapping from each team.
Yikes!
Wow.
Nah, I'm not doing it.
Nope.
I'm not doing it.
Nope.
I'm not doing it.
Nope.
I'm not doing it.
Because my quarterback is still the position.
The only way I do it,
right?
The only way I do it is if it comes with the offensive line. It comes with the offensive line.
Not the 2 tackles they got.
No.
Now.
I mean, listen, health for health.
Right.
The entire offensive line of Dallas, I mean, you got to. I mean, I'm pushing the button right away.
Now we're trading the whole offense.
The whole no wide receivers. No wide receivers. No wide receivers. Wait in the mind.
If you're throwing the punter, maybe I'd consider it.
What the heck kind of an accent is that?
You
sound like you're from St. Thomas or something.
I'm a robot.
Goat. Just say goat.
Oxtail and goat.
The curry goat.
You sound like you're from the Lesser Antilles.
Funny.
Not even the upper. Not even the upper Antilles. He's from Turks and Caicos.
Lesser Antilles. But when we look, when we look at this, what the Sam Darnold effect. All right. And me and Brandon were talking about it a little bit before we went on air.
Yeah.
Like if we had to pick a guy other than Sam Darnold, because we're really talking a lot about Sam Darnold right now.
Yes.
A guy or a thing that Sam Darnold improves the most. Which player is it? Which position group is it?
It's the O-line. Hands down.
Hands down. Right. It makes the O-line not look like it stinks as much as it does. Because they're still failing more often than not in terms of pass blocking. But what it does is it allows him to sort of correct or erase the mistakes that some of the offensive linemen are making. Because you're not paying attention to it because you're so laser focused on what he's doing. You don't see that, Beachum is getting beat on the left side because Sam steps to the right to avoid the pass rush.
It is the best thing in the world when you're not paying attention to the offensive line.
Yes.
Because the only time you're paying attention to them is when they're playing poorly.
Right.
And he offers that cohesive factor because he's such a good quarterback with the potential to become elite. When I say elite, like he's got the potential to be top 7 in the league, and because of that, like I said before, 10 sacks versus 1. When he comes back, he immediately made them kind of congeal just by the way that he plays. And you know what he has? Pocket presence.
Yep.
That's something that you can't necessarily coach as well. He's just got that. I'm going to go Kerry style. Je ne sais quoi. That's French for y'all. That means I don't know what. All right. He's got that I don't know what, component to him that just makes him better and thus makes the O-line better.
But he also he works through his reads.
Sure.
Like the other quarterbacks didn't have the ability or the wherewithal to work through their reads. And I think that a good comparison right now, just in this conversation of who he makes better, by him being in there, is Peyton Manning. Because Peyton Manning would take these guys like the Austin Collies and Dallas Clarks and people like that may not have been so great with another quarterback and makes them good. And Darnold did that. I think Griffin is a good example last week of somebody that he made better. Sure. Crowder is another big one. Like
Robbie.
Well, I think Robbie goes without saying. I think that's a little bit separate of a conversation because that's taking advantage of things that were there anyway. But you look at Crowder's production game 1, Crowder's production in this last game, and then Griffin's the whole season, and then Griffin's in this game. All of a sudden, you got a guy that is seeing the third read and not just the first one and getting sacked like Falk was doing. And I think Falk was over his head. But
yeah, and I think also as far as the offensive line is concerned, just getting rid of the football instead of holding the football. Yeah. So, some of those issues and sacks were not on the O-line. It was on the quarterback, and being indecisive. Let the football go. Just, trust what you're seeing, throw the ball. And we talked about earlier when Robbie Anderson was open a lot but wasn't getting the football, and instead Falk was holding the ball and getting the sack. So a lot of that is, again, just Falk trusting his eyes, and Darnold trusts what he sees, and he lets the ball go regardless of what's going to happen.
And honestly, I was seeing some of those things in Trevor Seaman as well, and I was talking to Kyle off camera about this. But
Trevor Seaman Avenue? Is that what you said?
Right. Whoa, wait a minute. Let's rewind the tape. Wait. Keep continuing.
Simeon, my friend.
We'll talk
Simeon,
about Simeon.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was Seaman.
Not Seaman.
That's why I was looking. I was like, What?
Right, wait,
What?
Navy, Seaman?
It's an
All right.
all ages,
All right,
ages
fine.
podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Fine. Cinnamon. Cinnamon. I'm gonna sprinkle that cinnamon on him.
Yeah.
I know it's not spelled the same. I'm just
That's a little bizarre too.
that's just
Cinnamon,
a,
really?
That's
Really,
a
dude?
corny dad joke.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, like
Poor.
All right, corny
joke.
dad.
Mhm.
Pause.
Woo!
Pause.
Anyway, so so I was just talking to Kyle about this off camera. I noticed that cinnamon.
No.
Simeon.
Simeon?
Wow.
Simeon.
Wow.
Who are you talking to like that, trying to tell somebody how to pronounce a name? What are you talking about?
Well, clearly you don't know.
He's got to pounce whenever he has the opportunity.
And
bro.
clearly you
Right.
Darno.
Oh, I like it.
You like that, right?
I might use it.
Shout out to Peter Locke on Dave Middleton.
Oh yeah. What up,
on the
Baldwin
comments.
Bruins?
What up, Bruins?
Peter Locko,
You.
Dave Middleton.
That's right.
Yeah, man. So I was seeing that, and even though he only played like 2 quarters, but I noticed that gee whiz,
Wow.
Trevor was
Wow.
holding the ball too long.
Trevor.
Clever Trevor.
Trevor, you know, lick 2 shot Trevor.
Lick shot.
Yeah, man,
for Trevor.
Trevor. We're Donovan. Yeah, so so he was holding the ball too long, and what I was saying to Kyle was that I think where the coaching failed us, and feel free to jump in, Kyle, if you agree or disagree or whomever. I feel like for Darnold, the system is kind of free. This system was built for Darnold and his attributes and his skill, but not for the backups. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard for them to get acclimated to the system that we have, and then thus them holding the ball too long and just making these grave errors. I mean, like, look at the Colts. It was made for Andrew Luck, but Brissett, you know, he's taking control of that thing, and he's ascending. He's gone. You know what I'm saying? But our backups and Trevor has and Trevor has played and started in the league before for Denver for a number of games. So it's not like he's just a Luke Falk who's a rookie and doesn't know how to handle himself. Trevor's won games before, you know? So I just think that it was structured around Darnold, and it was too rigid for the other ones to go in. And then we see the freedom that Darnold has allowed when he came back in.
This is not a Michael Vick offense, bro. I mean, I don't, I kind of disagree to an extent where there's an opportunity if you understand what you have in the quarterbacks and you work with him, right? You work with Falk. You had him in Miami, right? So you know what his positives are, his negatives are, and what plays he can work and be better at. And he knew the offense coming in here probably better than Darnold.
So why did it turn out to be such a disaster?
Because again, their players. Where was Powell before? It seemed like right.
Right.
All of a sudden, Gase looks like a great offensive coordinator because all of a sudden Powell's out there, Montgomery's out there.
First plays.
You know,
First plays of the game.
Right. It
First
was
series.
Right. It was almost if he was listening to the BKBK podcast.
He was listening.
Right.
Yeah.
It was almost as if he was listening to the BKBK podcast and we were raking him over the coals. And he was like, you know what? I got to get other guys involved. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not just, hey, we're going to get the ball to the wide receivers, because that was part of it with some of what Falk wasn't doing. But it was also, where are these other players that we have that we can take advantage of, that we can have mismatches and get them involved in the game? And that's exactly what happened. So, that's where you look back at this season, and hopefully we don't look at it this way. Hopefully we make the playoffs. I don't know. But when you look at those 3 games, and there was an opportunity to win at least one of those, right?
Yeah.
And what were we doing during that period of time? And almost, and I mentioned it earlier, it seemed like we were punting during that period of time, as opposed to, listen, man, go to the drawing board, get your pencil out, and figure out how to scratch out a win out of one of these games.
I hear what you're saying, but
yeah,
I hear what you're saying, but taking your pencil out, go back to the drawing board. He couldn't execute what he wanted to do with the players that we had, as far as Trevor and Falk. So that's what I'm saying. It seemed like it was really, this whole offense was really leaning towards Sam and his attributes.
So what happened in Jacksonville? What's going on there with Minshew?
All right, so
they don't have your man coaching. Go ahead, Kyle.
Okay,
I disagree with Brandon, and I semi-agree with Brian. Whereas, first of all, Trevor Siemian had like no body of work. He was hurt before he even really got started. I think he played like three quarters.
Body work with the
Jets.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that the offense was built around Luke Falk at all. And Luke Falk and anybody who plays backup quarterback does not get the reps in practice that the starter gets.
Correct.
So that goes from training camp all the way through. Probably get your most reps in training camp. And full disclosure, I'm an offensive coordinator, so I have a little bit of empathy for offensive coordinators around the world.
Gosh,
because I've taken my fair share of slings and arrows for play calling. I've been calling plays for nearly 17 years, and what you got to think about with offensive coordinators sometimes is that a lot of people don't take into account the mistakes that are made on the field by inexperienced players and backups, or that in order for an offense to function, almost everything has to function right. You can't have mistakes in crucial areas, or they lead to sacks and they lead to negative run plays. So I have a little bit of empathy for Gase in that way. However, going back to what Brian said about, all of a sudden you're a crappy offensive coordinator one week and then you're a genius the next, it swings the other way too. When you have playmakers in the places that you need them to be, running the stuff that you draw up, especially when you're drawing it up in a game plan against another defense, things can look really, really good. And they can go from that 10-sack game to that 1-sack game. They can go from that 3-turnover game to that no turnover game. Or I think we had 1 turnover on
one
last
INT.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, one INT. So I think I don't think that this was an offense that was necessarily created for Darnold only. I just think that it was not created for a 3rd or a 4th string quarterback. It was created for 1 and maybe 2. And you probably would, if Trevor Siemian had stayed in there for multiple games, you would have seen a more tailored offense to his skill set, probably.
I disagree with that, but we're kind of saying the same things. I'm just leaning more strongly to the fact that it's tailored more towards Sam than, say, you are. So we're kind of saying the similar things, but I just think that it was even less geared for Trevor Siemian to be able to fit in versus than what you're saying.
I think maybe the difference in what we're saying is that I don't think it's a detriment what they did to prepare an offense for Sam Darnold, because you're not saying to yourself, whoever you're going to put in there is going to be your number one guy. He's not going. If he was, he'd be your number one guy. He's going to be something less than that.
Well, you think about the Carolina Panthers, right? I mean, you got to understand that what they created offensively was for Cam.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Going into the season, preseason, everything, right? But they're winning games with the backup quarterback at this point.
Yeah.
Right? So, and he's not a running quarterback at all. So, but they were able to tailor and change and figure it out and win games anyway.
Good defense, good offensive line too.
And that's the same thing that I was saying regarding Andrew Luck and Jacoby Brissett. I do believe that offense was geared towards Andrew Luck, but you have a highly competent quarterback in Jacoby Brissett who is now playing on a Pro Bowl level.
Not much difference.
He started more games in the last 3 years than Andrew Luck,
and his offensive line is crazy.
3-1 probably.
His O-line is crazy too. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean,
I agree with you, Kyle, and I do agree with you as well, Brian.
Yeah.
In that regard.
In my opinion, see, again, I'm not a Gase lover, right? We all know that. I was very critical. I was very critical about not only his play calling, but I was even more critical about the personnel that he was having on the field. Yeah. And to me, that there's no excuse for not having Ty Montgomery and Bilal Powell.
Here comes the compliment.
As offensive weapons on the field. Here comes the compliment. He was dealing with a third-string quarterback. I agree with Kyle in terms of, Trevor Siemian wasn't there. We didn't have enough of a body of work for him to say, if you're trying to compare, our quarterback crew to the other quarterbacks, Minshew and the Carolina backup. Yeah. Those are guys that were ready and got the reps and were ready to step in at any time to play. Falk was like, look, I'm about to hold a clipboard. I'm not going to be doing much, and I might be on the practice squad next week.
He barely beat out Davis
I get
Webb.
that. I definitely, he barely beat out Davis Webb, who is nowhere right now.
Right.
So I get that part of it. But that still doesn't absolve you of the fact that you didn't have two guys that you paid to be here on the field at all.
Right. No, I get it. I'm just saying that, I just for the short-term evaluation process that I had of Trevor Siemian, it's that I was seeing that.
It was less than a game.
It
was less than a game.
I know it was less than a game. I realized
that's
that.
not short term. That's no term.
Well, you know what? It was short. It is a term.
It is a term, and it was short.
It was short. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah,
yes,
his ankle is in like 16 different ways.
I understand that I'm only evaluating him, and I'm making a judgment. Yeah, I'm totally judging.
Right.
Don't judge.
You're so judgy.
Yeah.
Judgy.
You know what I'm saying? We all are. But anyway, that's a whole other thing.
Trevor,
right?
Trevor,
It's kind of what we do, kind of.
We got a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Trevor Siemian was like 80% accuracy in the preseason. He was like, every time we went in, he was like 21 of 26.
Man, they were all
like
everything in the preseason. Then when we got to the games that counted, they stunk. That's why we didn't get a win until
He
last week.
He played a half.
It was Trevor Siemian. He played a half.
Yeah, and he stunk in that half.
No, he did. His ankle was backwards
before he got hurt, because when his ankle went backwards, he was out the game.
Yeah, his ankle was
And
forwards.
he stunk in that half.
And when his ankle was forwards, he wasn't that
He
good.
was holding the ball
Yeah,
way
yeah.
too long, man.
Wasn't that good.
Again, you got to give him time. Again, I'm not defending Gase. Look, I'm not a Gase lover. Okay, but I have to be objective about it too.
No, I get it.
Right?
I'm not beating Gase up. I'm kind of beating up Trevor Siemian a little bit, and you can tell I'm beating him up because now I'm fully confident in saying his name.
Last name, right?
Yeah, Trevor Siemian.
Funny.
All right, Trevor Siemian. Trevor Siemian.
I mean,
All right.
you said it enough.
Siemian.
I thought the show was Sam Darnold heavy. It got Trevor Siemian heavy real quick.
Well,
Wow.
it's only Sam Darnold heavy when it goes French. Cut to Kerry.
Darno.
Cut to
Darno.
Kerry. All right, y'all. Let's move on.
Drinking Perrier's in Arturo.
And croissants, as Brian said.
Funny.
Not even croissants, but croissants. Yeah.
Croissant.
And crepes with strawberry jam in it.
That's right.
Oh, love crepes. I like the ham and egg crepe, savory crepe.
First
listen,
of all,
Kyle,
isn't it crepes?
First of all, you're already a ham and egger, first and foremost, Kyle. You're already a ham and egger. So now, hey, look at this ham and egg over here. Now
Listen, we used to go to the bagel place, bring those
Every
bacon,
day.
egg, and cheeses, the double bacon,
double bacon. Yep.
Double butter.
Get double butter.
Butter.
Two times.
Yeah.
2 times.
And you know what
Eat
they
a lot.
should love saying? They should be like salt, pepper, ketchup.
Oh, sure.
So,
Yeah.
Sure.
Peter Lacco tuning in. Peter Lacco was a deli guy too. He was the Soprasat and the Capicola.
Oh, he was the Soprasad. I thought he was more of the Lox kid. The Lox with
Olive
the
loaf.
Olive loaf. Ew. That's disgusting.
olive loaf.
Oh my God.
Tell them to chime in
Liverwurst.
with the questions, though. Questions and comments, man. Tell them to chime in with the questions and comments.
Yeah, Peter Lacco wants Kyle Brady back at tight end. That's where he's going.
Oh, come on, man.
Chris Herndon.
There
Right.
we go.
Let it go.
All
right.
shoulder pads. All shoulder pads.
Heavy shoulder pads. All right, so let's move on, guys. We've totally unpacked the whole Sam Darnold thing. Let's talk about the game coming up on Monday. We've got a Monday nighter, and this game has the potential to be in my opinion, guys, and you guys feel free to comment on this, but this game has the potential to be a legacy-defining moment for Sam Darnold and the New York Jets franchise as a whole. Think of it like this: Sam Darnold, first game back from recovering from mono, to win the AFC Offensive Player of the Week, beating a good Dallas team. I'm not saying great, but they're definitely a good Dallas Cowboys team.
Overrated.
As a tune-up, and then potentially beating the heated rival and Super Bowl champs, the New England Patriots. Like, can we actually start thinking like this and thinking of it and projecting it as a reality? Does this past win give us that capacity to do so? And I'm thinking yes.
Can this be a must win for the playoff potential?
Absolutely.
For this year.
And I'm thinking even beyond that. Like, imagine in the history books of New York Jets football, if we beat them here, 6-time Super Bowl champs, undefeated right now, Sam Darnold just coming off mono, they're going to write this down.
Are they?
They might even do it on stone tablets.
Wow. All right, Flintstones. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
No,
I think
come on.
you're seriously building this up a little too much. I think.
Oh
Exactly,
gosh, help me out a
exactly.
little
Way
bit.
I'm
too
gonna have to pull you
Help
down.
me out.
First of all,
I agree.
any mojo that I was pushing towards the Yankees, I don't need to do anymore. So I'm gonna my mojo distribution is all going here now. But I did watch a Knicks preseason game the other night, and I feel halfway good about the Knicks right now.
Like we could be like a 500 team, right?
Well, I mean, or maybe an 8 seed. Who knows? Maybe we can compete with those other teams with young guys on their team.
Sure.
How's RJ looking?
Quick,
very good.
Very good. He looks very good.
Very good.
I was just as a quick aside on the Knicks. I truly feel like what we have right now is what we probably should have done 10 years ago.
Sure.
It's about 10 years too late. And if we got to suffer a little bit through this, I'm okay with it because I kind of like the amount of effort that's on the court right now. The Bobby Portises and the Ellingtons,
Sure.
The Dennis Smith. It's like my real first look at Bobby Portis. You guys are laughing about something over there that has nothing to do with what I'm
you should
saying.
be watching the thread over there.
Watch your thread because Peter Olaco got on. He's
The
like,
olive
"Come
loaf?
on, man, olive loaf." He totally disagreed. Who said olive loaf? Was that you, Kyle?
Yeah, it was
That's
Kyle.
Kyle.
That's
Olive.
funny, and you know it was the green olives too.
It's terrible.
The
Terrible. I hate
pimento.
olives.
Listen,
too.
Pete Olaco is
pimento.
only serving Boar's Head products. He is not,
Of course, he's not doing Dietz and Watson. He's not doing that.
Ooh, I love Dietz and Watson.
You do? Yuck,
I
Terry.
do.
How the heck you like Dietz and Watson?
Why not?
No way, bro.
Honey maple
Hey.
turkey.
Not
no
Dietz-
Oscar Mayer.
What's wrong
no
with
Oscar
that?
Mayer there.
Oh, you
No
guys are
pre-cut.
terrible.
No pre-cut cold cuts.
Dietz and Watson, baby.
Oh,
Dietz and Watson.
that's B level cold cuts, man.
What are we talking about, bro? Like, where we at, yo?
mean,
This is-
yeah.
Come on.
Knicks cold cuts. But going back to this New England game, I
Yeah.
think that I definitely think we could win this game. If I believe going back to my predictions from the beginning of the year, I said we would split. And I think that we're going to win this game. It just is a matter of if we play like the team that we played with last week, and we take advantage of opportunities.
Listen,
and,
we haven't
don't turn the
mentioned,
ball over.
and we haven't mentioned Mosley is back.
But maybe.
No. He said
not-
he's back. He said
He's not
back.
confirmed.
Well,
he can say
listen,
what he wants.
he
He's not
got-
confirmed for
he
much.
confirmed
He didn't
himself.
practice on Friday.
That he did. I don't care.
Limited.
He said
he
right.
practiced limited
Right
on
That's
Friday.
there's
So
a
that's
difference.
like drills off the side.
And I
Look,
love it too. I love it that he's going to proclaim himself ready for the game because
Right.
he knows how important it is.
I
And it's
understand that,
against
but I don't
New
want
England.
him out for the rest of the season. You know how a groin injury is.
Sure.
I don't want him out for the rest of the
but
season.
Sure.
Well, look, I've strained
Ja-
my groin before, but that's another story. Whole
Chill.
other story.
Josh Gordon is ruled out.
Right.
No, I got
That's
it.
what I
Fantasy.
wanted to get to. That's
Okay.
what I wanted to
Get
get
to
to.
it then.
Josh
Talk
Gordon
about
is ruled out. My prediction is if we have Herndon and Mosley,
Herndon's not playing.
he's not playing.
No, he's
Not
not.
playing.
No, he's not playing.
Not-
Nah,
No.
He's listed as doubtful, but he's not playing.
he not
Well,
playing.
doubtful right now is like out.
Yeah,
I mean, and
25%.
questionable is
Without a
like, yeah,
doubt.
you're going to play. Right? I mean, that's kind of where you're at.
Questionable's 50-50. Doubtful is 25% chance of playing. Just for the record, yo.
He's not playing.
Carrie
Yeah,
Manheimer Bast checking in.
What's up, Carrie?
What up?
Yeah, I don't have confidence that we will beat this team. I think we'll be in it more so than I thought last week.
Do you think we're better than the Giants?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, and I think
Especially with Mosley back and on defense.
correct. And like Gay said, he's like the quarterback. It's like as significant as Darnold coming back.
Yes, I recognize that. But if you watch that game, New England was playing down to the Giants. They were clearly playing down to the Giants' ability.
Well, I mean, and I think listen,
And they're not a division rival.
they're-
This is a game that New England will be up for. It's not like they were up for. They're not going to be up for it the way in which they were for the Giants. Is what I'm saying.
well,
I think the
listen,
Giants and the Jets are pretty evenly matched. I think that's going to be a really good game.
I think
it
the
will
Jets
be too.
I think the Jets will spank them.
but again, I think if we don't beat ourselves, then we put ourselves.
That's a big if.
I mean, well, listen, we had one turnover last week,
Mhm.
right? Take that away. I think we beat Dallas more than when we beat them. We had opportunities in order to score more points. We left points on the field.
Because what did we do in the second
Dallas.
half? We didn't do much the second half.
We didn't
at all.
We were in control the entire game.
Yeah. Yep. And our defense
from beginning to end.
And our defense held strong. You know.
We were controlling
considering that our
game.
defense is lacking
the
pass
last
rush
6 minutes.
and
The
good
last 6
starting
minutes. You can debate that based on the last 6 minutes of that game.
Well, the Rush were in control the last 6 minutes.
That's
the
point that I'm making.
Right.
That's the point that I'm making
Yeah.
on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely,
both sides.
You get a couple calls in that game, like in that Detroit game last week, like the Trey Flowers calls. Like you start to think about how when you say refs are in control of the game, I've never seen it worse than right there, where the guy didn't even do anything, and he's getting called for illegal hands to the face.
Yeah,
you guys know what I'm talking about with that Detroit Green Bay game.
Flowers, it was Flowers.
Yeah. I mean, and if you think back to the Jet Dallas game, they could have easily scored on the play that they were called on for what was it?
A pick.
Yeah, the pick play. That really to me wasn't a pick play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's another thing. As I'm saying, you know, if we leave it in the hands of the refs, or we play that way. You know, in the New England game, the way we played in the second half, part of that second half of the Dallas and Jet game, then it's gonna be a problem.
Well, listen,
be a problem.
I think if
we were fortunate with that pick play.
Oh, of course. I think if we end up winning that game, Mosley is going to be that key person at this point in time, just like Robbie was last week. So we'll see where we end up. But I think we really have an opportunity here. I think that they are not 100% on offense at all.
Yep.
Right? Just like Dallas wasn't. And I think defensively, it's all about just not beating ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we can play mistake-free football, listen, they're going to get sacks. It's going to happen. But if no turnovers, that's what we have to really aspire to be. If we don't turn the ball over and we make them, beat us, then I think we have an opportunity to win, and we're playing in our own house.
That means nothing.
I think it means something.
I don't think it means anything.
I think it does.
It does.
That means nothing when it comes to the New England Patriots. I think any other team, it would have like a modicum of meaning, but not against the Pats. I think we really have to internalize it from a team standpoint, and like what you were saying, I'd say that we need to limit it. Let's be realistic to maybe just one turnover. And we need to get like one more turnover than the Pats, at least that.
Well, here's what I'm saying.
Plus one in the margin.
So that's like saying playing in New England, they don't have an edge playing there.
No, it's not. It's different.
So is it even? It's not even with them playing.
They got an edge.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I think there is. I don't think it's like, oh my God, we're playing at home, so they're going to be rattled. That's not what I'm saying.
No. And I don't think you're saying that.
Right.
What I'm just saying is that I think it means more for New England to be at home than it does for us, because me as a Jets fan, I've seen the Jets lose huge games at home. You know what I'm saying? With the crowd behind us and everything, and just walk out of there disappointed. So I feel like it's just like it doesn't mean anything, especially when you're playing the Super Bowl champs. We need to be able to beat these guys so that it can mean something further down the line.
I was a season ticket holder for 30 years, and I've been in New England for 2 playoff games. An Eric Mangini one where they lost,
of course,
and the Bart Scott can't wait game. And
classic.
It's harder. It's a harder home field in New England than it is at the Meadowlands or MetLife, whatever they call it.
It's because they've created this culture of winning all the time. So if you're not winning, your fan base isn't going to create that environment to have you win. That's why I think it's just like until we get that developed, the fans aren't our 12th man, is what I'm saying. At least for the New York Jets. For Seattle, they are. For New England, of course. For some more of these franchises that have developed a winning culture.
The Steelers.
Even the Cowboys.
You get a lot of out of town fans that will come to New York for the game. Whereas whack. You don't get that as much.
They did it with Dallas. The Dallas game, it was like 50-50 in the building.
Yeah.
So I hear you.
Dallas travels. That's a different one.
Oh.
If it's Jacksonville, it's a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same. Dallas travels everywhere. They go everywhere.
America's team.
And I'm not saying that
they're,
either.
they're in every city.
I'm just saying I'd rather be playing in MetLife Stadium, and I feel like there is a slight edge, albeit slight, to us playing at home as opposed to playing in New England.
I don't think you're gonna see the same presence of fans for this game that you saw for the Dallas game in terms of the Dallas presence.
Of course, yeah, because Dallas, like you said, they travel. They're all over the place. They have.
I'll make a bold prediction, and this is not a prediction so much as it is as a statement that Mosley makes this defense special. And if he is on his game, then we have a chance.
Are you saying Mosley does for this defense what Sam Darnold does for the offense?
Yes.
Didn't I just say that?
Hands down.
No, you did not.
No, I didn't.
Did you say that?
I didn't hear you say that.
Rewind the tape. Go to the videotape.
I think I kind of said that, but
real snotty. I was like,
go to the videotape. You did not.
Well,
if you did not.
If you did, I give you posthumous credit.
Wow.
Wait a second, he ain't dead yet.
The comment is though.
The comment is dead now. Just close the door on the comment.
Strike thee. I rebuke thee.
I'm just being a little heavy worded.
Oh boy.
Oh, gee whiz. I'm never gonna live that one down.
Right.
Neither is Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
My words carry weight.
Go back to 106, episode 106.
106 in Park? No, I'm playing.
Do we have we don't have a best of yet on YouTube. We should have a best of all the best. I mean, we have enough episodes now.
Oh, absolutely.
Our fan base is yearning for it.
That's
I see it.
That's a big word.
Chime in right now on Facebook Live if you're yearning for a BKBK best of.
We might have to get an editor to cut up some clips to give us a best of,
I mean, if we're talking about best of the Egba.
Egba.
What's up with these names today, huh?
Egba.
No, no, not Egba. The way that Brandon spelled edge.
Absolutely.
Edgar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was classic.
The new hybrid position that Brandon created.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Right. He just copy and pasted what I had. That's just it. It's a mistake. He cheated on my paper.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh man.
I think all four of us as individuals, we all had our moments.
Oh, absolutely.
I continue to have our moments.
It's the blooper reel, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to have time. I mean, how many hours do we have right now? We have about 25 hours worth of
content. Yeah.
Worth of content now. There's got to be some bloops
we got
in
more
there.
than that. We got more than that.
Maybe about 34.
Yeah.
So just
we got the one where where Brian put on the eyes with the sling.
Oh yeah.
That was terrible.
Classic.
That definitely goes in there. That was
Classic.
from the Gates press conference.
Oh,
Yeah,
classic.
yeah.
Classic.
Talk about being wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. Forget the bushy-tailed. He was just straight up wide-eyed on that one.
Yeah, crazy eyes.
So, guys, all right. We're talking all this stuff. Why don't we talk a little predictions, huh?
Sure.
Let's talk a little predictions. Monday Night Football.
Wow.
Monday Night Football.
With the world watching.
The only game.
MNF.
Yes.
MNFer.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the New England Patriots. Super Bowl champs. They got 6 rings. They can't even hold it on one hand.
Wow.
Unless they put it in the palm of their hand, though. So, no, seriously, though.
Wow.
You know what?
I'm going 24,
Hold on, Kyle.
21.
Hold on, Kyle. I'm going to cut to you right now. Get your life.
I'm going 24-21 Jets on a Fickin field goal.
Fickin field goal. Wow.
For the win.
24-21?
Fickin.
Yeah. All right.
There we go.
Brian, talk to me.
21-17 Jets.
21-17 Jets.
21-17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going 21-17.
Wow.
I am.
All right.
Think the Jets win?
There you go. That's what I wanted to hear. Like, what? 21-17, what? Okay, so Jets win. Boom.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the same score. It's definitely going to be a defensive struggle.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going that the New England Patriots will win.
Nah.
21-17.
Et tu, Brute?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you head over to the New England Patriots podcast now, Benedict Arnold.
Benedict Arnold.
Just playing.
I'm going to go. At first, I was going to go like 27 to 23, but I don't even think we're going to score that much because they're the number one. I think I'm going to go. You know what? I think it's going to be like. It could be like 20. I'm going to say 20-17. 20-17. Jets. I'm picking the Jets to win, and it should have been 21. And our hearts are going to stop because frickin' is going to miss a frickin' extra point, and that's going to tweak us out. But then, with Sam, he's going to just hold us tight and figure out a way to put us in position to kick that field goal to have us win by, 3 points, 20-17. And that field goal is going to be not a 50-yarder. It's going to be a 44-yard field goal.
At this point in the season, okay?
Yeah.
With all of the field goal kicker drama that we've had this year.
Yep. I knew you were going.
Would you rather a Ficken extra point for the win or Sam Darnold going for 2 from the 3-yard line?
After the fact, when I'm all recovered, all up in here, all righty, from
all up in your feelings?
Yeah, no, from the borderline heart attack. Okay, I want to see that. I want to see Sam Darnold actually physically winning it. Like I said, I want it etched in stone. I want him in the books. Like I want to pick up, grandkids. Like, here, son, this is the New York Jets book of when they ascended into greatness.
So all right, so that begs the question. First of all, I don't even know what this guy was talking about. But that begs the question. So
that meant.
So we're down.
Shut up.
21-20. No time left on the clock, right? And we just scored a touchdown in order to make it 20. Are we going for 2, or do you kick the extra point? Kind of to Kyle's point, but just to put a little extra slant on it. You go for the win in regulation, or do you kick the extra point on the tie for more football?
I'm going for the win, and I'm not mad at Gaines if he doesn't get it.
Me
too.
Going
for the win.
I second that, Kerry. I'm going for the win.
Going for the win.
This is the only way to break this little thing, this spell, or whatever you want to call it.
And I know he's going for the win.
But what say you, Kyle?
I go for 2. I just had a double overtime game on Friday night.
Did you win?
No, we lost
Dag.
on a field goal in double overtime. But it was very. All of my high school stuff usually mirrors the Jets. It's a weird coincidence. Usually not good.
Darn it!
But played really bad the week before, and then played really good on offense this week. And came back, tied the score, scored in overtime, and it just went from there. But when you have those types of thoughts, we're talking about like Sam Darnold versus Ficken here. It's really Sam Darnold and Gase because that 2-point play call is a big play call.
Huge.
And it's a game plan play call. Like what are you going to do if you have to go for 2? Where do you put the ball? Because you have choice of hashes or middle of the field. So that play call is as big as the person that's executing it. So I would go in the Jet situation. If the scenario you put out there, I go for 2.
Man,
and live with the loss. And live with the loss because chances are we're not a playoff team anyway. So it's better for the franchise overall to get that win, and the loss doesn't hurt as much as the win is big. So.
You know what? I'm kicking the extra point. I mean, I'm playing extra minutes, and my thought process around that is that I don't want to. Going for 2 at that point seems a little desperate. Because the odds of the 2-point conversion is relatively low, and I think you play extra. Because that's what you would do if we were in the playoffs or this or that. I mean, I think if we're in the playoffs, we're not going for 2. We're going to kick the extra point, and we're going to play bonus football. I think
they also moved
football.
They moved the extra point back, so the odds were more of an even swap, though. And
is it even? I still don't think it's even, bro. It's less than 50% that you make the 2. No. It's definitely less than.
It's not even.
It's not even.
No.
So the odds that you're going to make the 2 are low. Think about the Dolphins, against Washington going for 2 at that point in time. It seemed like, whatever. We get it. We don't, right? Versus, hey, we're really going for the win. Nah, you kick it. The odds are that you're probably going to make it. If you don't, you feel like, what the heck just happened, and then you play bonus football and you see what ends up happening, and you give
it's not even, and you give it's not even, but it's an extra point. It's another point though.
And then also it
shouldn't be even. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I mean it shouldn't be even because you get more points for one than the other.
It also begs the question, what's Tom Brady's record in overtime? Because let's remember, we're not just playing against New England. We're playing against Tom Brady, the best quarterback of all time. And I'd rather take my chances and not seeing him have the ball again so that we don't get crushed out. I want to take the opportunity to crush them out. And I know it's kind of hard to get a 2-point conversion, but I mean,
it is against the number one defense in football.
That is true.
Right?
That is true. But you know what? Yes.
So,
but you know what? They're not all time the number one defense in football.
They're not.
But I don't want to see it in the all time best quarterback of all time in his hands either. So,
but you might the toss. You don't know. You might end up with the football and in Sam Darnold's hands and give him an opportunity to now create his resume, right? Because if he scores 7, the game is over. And so you're assuming automatically that Tom is going to get the ball or that we're going to kick 3. I mean, so there's a lot of different scenarios that can happen and branch off from that.
He could also create his own legacy by getting that 2-point conversion, baby. He's got Bell. He's got, well, we won't have Herndon, but
not a great offensive line either.
Not a great offensive line.
But he's got momentum. If you just scored a touchdown, you got momentum too.
Yeah.
Momentum is on your side, so that huge. I don't think that either answer is wrong.
No, it's not wrong. It's just your perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, good. So hey, I know we wanted to do a little. What do we got here? A little tweak me, peek me. I'd love to hear the thoughts of our guys here. So yeah, B, why don't you procure that up there?
Roll them.
I like to get cuts of everybody bouncing. Yeah. Check out Kyle. Look at B. Check out Kerry. Kerry looking hard. Check him out.
Yo, disclaimer: I'm never hearing the music when I do this.
You're on beat though, Kyle.
You are on beat. Right.
It's a dope beat. It's a dope beat, Kyle. Don't worry about it.
You got that Bolden Bruins flavor on you.
No doubt.
Imperial.
That's right, baby.
Imperial Styles.
That's right.
Styles P.
Exclusive.
All right, guys. So, and girls, this is the part of the show where we talk about tweak me versus peak me. All right, what tweaks you? All right, that means kind of what you disagree with, what kind of gets under your skin, and then what piques you. Basically, what really just gets you fired up in a good way. What enlightens you? What makes you feel lighter than air about life in general in the football world. All righty. So, Brian, why don't you start it off with what tweaks you and what piques you in any order you like?
Sure. Listen, I think what tweaked me is that Yankees lost last night.
Oh, gee whiz.
It kind of tweaked me. Okay, Mets fan over there, you know what I'm saying, with the face. But it kind of tweaked me because I thought we had opportunities.
Kerry,
in that
close
series.
your eyes. Close your eyes, Kerry.
Yeah.
Close your daggone eyes.
Listen, I think it tweaked.
I'm against you.
This is the
Huh?
This is the BKB podcast right now, not the BKBK.
Exactly. Got to drop a K real quick.
Woo! Yeah.
But yeah, listen, I think that tweaked me because we had opportunities to win that series.
Altuve.
Yeah. We really, Altuve, this guy, man.
I mean, it was like David and Goliath.
5 foot
last
nothing.
night. David and Goliath out there.
Yeah.
Guys like throwing 170 miles an hour, one pitch, and all of a sudden, bang! Out of the park. Just saying. Guys like 4'2".
I went to see Joker last night, and I walked out of the movie theater, and I see Jose Altuve with a World Series hat on, and I said to my wife, who is 5 foot, I said, that guy is as tall as you are.
Wow,
right there.
At best.
He tweaks me so much. How good, how small he is, and how good he is.
He
That
does.
tweaks me so much.
Right. He's leading the playoffs and home runs, like really that guy. Guy.
It's called compact.
No.
That guy.
In all seriousn's, props to him. He's a good,
gosh.
really good.
No, let me give no props to that dude right now. You know what I'm saying? Zero. Let me look at zero props to that dude right now. We're gonna get you next year. That's terrible. Yeah. We're gonna get Cole. We're gonna sign that dude.
Oh, we're gonna
take him. We're gonna turn it around and give it to you.
Man,
Cole's gonna mow you down. That's what I'm telling you.
That's so long from now.
It is. That's all I can live in right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just swimming in my beer.
That little kid is all forearm work. That's all it is.
That's all it is, bro.
Yeah, that's all they can do.
That's all this action. That's what it is.
Texas ain't got no tax.
But that's what
base.
That's Major League Baseball putting the Astros in the American League.
Come to New York, they got taxes in New York.
But listen, what piques me? Listen, the New York Jets. I mean, for the first time, like all season, kind of piqued me a little bit. Wow. You know, like an opportunity right here on Monday night to turn the season around. Right, the first time I don't remember the last time I looked at a Jets game and I was actually excited about what the outcome was going to be going into the fourth quarter, right? Literally.
Yeah.
You know, when whatever, we're going to win, lose, who cares, because the season is kind of over, whatever. But to really care about a game.
It is amplified because it's the Pats, too.
Oh, extra amplified at this point. Because, listen, going into the season, this was 2 losses. I mean, 2 losses at this point. But based on how well Sam Darnold played last week and how we played as a team and the potential to get Mosley back as well, I mean, I'm piqued by that.
You know, I scooped him up in my fantasy.
You did.
You know that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But by the way, kind of had to scoop him because I needed a linebacker, and Neville. I think Neville's not going to play. So
what?
Yeah,
that's the first I'm hearing of that.
Yeah. So please confirm it. You know, folks out there. You know, if you happen to be Jets fans, number 46 inside linebacker, our backup linebacker, who's been great without C.J. Mosley in there. I think he is hurt. I don't think he's playing. So I think the next backup behind him would be Blake Cashman out of Minnesota, who I love.
Yeah.
So, you know, since the camera's already on me, I'll go with Tweak Me, Peek Me. I didn't even know that we were going to do this segment, so let me make up something here on the fly. So, I don't have to make it up on the fly, but I'm going to go with Peek Me first. I'm going to piggyback off of what you were saying, Brian. You know, the prospect of us playing New England right now, okay, I think it gives us a chance to, you know, rewrite or to start the beginnings of the writing for Sam Darnold and his legacy. And I think that if he wins, we can start authoring that as of tomorrow night after the game is over. We can start with the pen. You got to write it in cursive so it looks like an old school document, okay? These kids are not learning cursive in school now. You got to be kidding me.
Not at
all. But all jokes aside, I think this, if we win, could be the beginnings of that. You know, it's kind of like out with the old and in with the new, and our 22-year-old quarterback can be that new standard, starting with the Jets and our franchise. Maybe we could be that new standard of what it is to be winners versus, say, losers in the NFL, and everyone can start kind of looking to us as far as what a team needs to build a winning franchise. And I think Sam Darnold is that guy. And I'll be watching it closely Monday night, you know, and I'm hoping that Sam Darnold is able to push through everything and be able to get us a victory, you know?
Yeah.
And then what tweaks me, I did not watch the Yankee game. I am a Yankee fan, so I'm going to give Brian all of that. But I think what tweaks me is basically if we lose, you know, because I think it's about time. I've been a Jets fan since I got my Jets bike when I was 7 years old. I think you guys know this story.
Yeah, we've heard it.
Yeah, no, we haven't. Can you tell us again?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. Continue.
Anyway, so it's been long enough, and I just want to be listen, I'm loyal to a fault no matter what, win or lose. I'm still going to be a Jets fan, but I'm just saying it would be wonderful for us to be able to win, and I think it would tweak me because I'm so looking forward to the history books on the Jets just rewriting itself and starting with this win now. And I got to go to Kyle with this. Check out, hey.
I'm bringing in my dog.
Bringing the dog.
Tweak me, peek me.
And here we go with the tweak me, peeky. Check out Kyle.
That's a lab?
Just a shot. It's a black lab.
The black lab.
What up, Sky? Say hello to Sky.
Hey,
Sky.
Sky.
Say hi.
Hey, Sky.
What's up? Look at that. Oh, yeah. See his mouth
You're
all
barking. They got to see you if you're barking.
over. Yeah,
That's right.
That's a cute
All right.
dog, bro.
Thank
Gee
you.
whiz.
All right, so I got a new tweak that I didn't even realize. So I looked up whether Neville Hewitt is injured or not, and he is doubtful
Yeah,
for the game, along with Henry Anderson, Herndon. You got McClendon, Darryl Roberts, and Demaryius Thomas all questionable. Demaryius Thomas has a hammy too. But I am now tweaked by the fact that it seems as though Kalichi Osemele and the Jets are in a fight about whether he is injured or not. He refuses to practice. They are fining him for conduct detrimental to the team.
Wow.
And he now has a union grievance in about his injury. He says he got hurt in training camp and that he needs surgery. And the Jets are saying that he can play through it and get the surgery after the year's over. So you have
he's also
a little bit of a standoff.
He's also saying that he cannot fully extend his arms out. It's like a labrum thing, and he can't lock out his arms as a result. So
he has a torn labrum. It's confirmed that it is a torn labrum.
Yeah.
But he was benched before that,
right,
for Alex in favor of Alex Lewis. So this whole situation is tweaking me, especially because we traded assets for this guy. Yeah. However, none of his money is guaranteed after this year,
unless he goes out on the injury settlement. If he goes in season-ending injury, then we owe him that money
for this year. Nothing is guaranteed after this year. I think it's all options.
That's the basis of the grievance. Absolutely.
Right.
With the dispute.
Yeah.
My thing is, if you have a torn anything, man, like you can't blame him for wanting to get it fixed. It's torn. A torn labrum. People go out on IR for that, like, and their season is done. I don't understand it, but also I don't want to place too much, deliberate judgment on it because I don't know the full story. But a torn labrum sounds bad enough.
I think that they were saying it was pre-existing and it didn't happen in training camp. So that's the first thing that the Jets are contending. And then
that's their own fault because they conduct physicals to bring people in. So if he had a pre-existing condition, they should have used their medical team to be able to source that out. That's on them.
Well, again, if you say it's pre-existing, tomato, right? I mean, so.
And he also said that he heard it on August 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when he's in camp. So,
But he played after that.
They rehabbed him and everything.
Right.
And then he played a few games and then he tweaked it again. So it's kind of like almost like a re-injury. And it's torn.
There's nothing that says that there was a pre-existing, that the Jets said anything about a pre-existing injury in this New York Post article that I'm reading. So don't see that there. That doesn't mean it's not true, but I guess we'll see about that. What piques me right now is the play of several of the offensive linemen. I'll give game balls to Shell coming in and playing left tackle at the end of the game pretty well. I'll also give a game ball to Alex Lewis, who, as Brian and Brandon pointed out, is rated as one of the top 5 guards in Pro Football Focus right now, which is another that we got that guy basically off of a waiver wire. It was a manipulated waiver wire thing where we traded a low draft pick
and to be
specific, a high draft pick.
And to be specific, out of 88 contenders, he's ranked as number 5 as far as offensive guard the last 2 games that he started. And I'm talking about Alex Lewis. So, yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead, Kyle.
And that's who's starting for Osemele now. So we may be getting better production out of that position than we would have if we had the starter in, healthy or injured.
Sure.
So that's what piques me right now. I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I'm pretty excited over the way they played last week, and hopefully they play near to, if not better than last week, because they're going to need to beat this team and the Hall of Fame quarterback that we still have to go against twice a year until somebody tells me otherwise.
Gotcha.
That's where I am with it all.
Gotcha. You are last, brother.
Did you go already?
Yeah.
So, I will go with the piques me. And what piques me is Sam Darnold and the fact that I feel like we have the quarterback that we've been looking for a very long time. And I haven't felt this good about a quarterback since Mark Sanchez. And I feel better than I felt even after the first playoff win that we got with Mark Sanchez behind center. And that says a lot.
Yeah,
because prior to that, we didn't have a lot of successes or long-term successes with our quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Up until to the point where, actually, you know what? I did feel good about number 10.
Oh, I love Chad.
I did feel good about Chad.
When he was healthy.
When he was healthy, yeah.
When he was healthy, but it wasn't for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But I have that type of feeling when I talk about Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
I bought the jersey
Nice.
of Chad Pennington for me and my son at the same time.
That's
saying
evidence of good feelings right there.
Saying a lot.
And like the Titan colors too, right?
Titan colors.
Yeah, the Titan colors.
Bring that back.
Yeah.
Blue and gold.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Bruins. Anyway,
you know that.
Side eye.
Yep. By the way, the Baldwin Bruins, they beat Hempstead this
They
weekend.
beat Hempstead. My son had a very good game, number 8. He had a few punt returns, positive yardage. Had a
forced fumble.
Forced fumble.
Nice.
Because he got angry because he created a fumble himself. He fumbled himself, so he got angry and it caused a forced fumble.
All right.
And had a great.
Are they on a two-game winning streak?
No, Freeport was last
Freeport,
week.
Yeah. Freeport is
they played Freeport last week?
Yeah, Freeport is killing dudes. But look, I'm not going to take away from this victory. They have Farmingdale next week. But they look really good. On a somber side, what tweaks me is my former teammate, class of 88, Bowen Bruin, 87, Doug Pasella, passed away unexpectedly.
Wow.
He was on the first team that Coach Carroll coached as a varsity Bowen Bruin football coach. He was on the team with Rob Wright, Bobby Pettigrew, Tony Roberts, Ray Adams. Short story. I tell these guys all the time, I played JV as an 11th grader because I loved the game. And Doug was my direct competitor. He was a right corner, and I was a right corner. He was in 11th grade. He was in 10th grade while I was on JV as well when I was on 11th grade. And he ended up starting over me, right? When we got to varsity, I worked my butt off and ended up starting over him as a senior and had 2 interceptions my first game. And the first person that came up to me to congratulate me was Doug. And he was the epitome of what I want my son to be as a team player, as a Bowen Bruin. And I want to say to his family, he was a nice guy. And I tell people all the time, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And this guy
100%.
was that.
Yeah.
Word.
Yes, absolutely. So the viewing will be at Mackin Funeral Home in Rockville Center tonight from 7 to 9 and tomorrow from 2 to 4 and 7 to 9. And the funeral will be at St. Agnes Church on Tuesday morning. Come support your Bowen Bruin. Come support a guy that epitomized what it is to be a Bowen Bruin. And I want to say, Doug, I love you, and I thank you for being the best teammate and an example of what it is to be a great Bowen Bruin and an example for my son.
Awesome, man. And Team BK.
That's great, Kerry.
Team BKBK just wants to, just as a team, just reach out to him and his family and, just wish you well. And we wish that God is with you and stays with you, oh Lord, and we just pray for him and his family, oh Lord, and that you offer your saving grace to them, oh Lord. And I just thank you so much. And that's why this, right here is family. Team BKBK is family, man. I've known Brian since I was 8 years old. I knew Kerry since the same age, when we moved in. I've known Brian since 3rd grade. Kyle, I've known Kyle since 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? Since junior high school, man. And we're we're grown men now, and we still keep in touch. We still pal around and talk about the same things, and it's so important, you know what I mean? And I think that, even though we may debate and tease each other on the show and everything, that's part of the dialogue, but it's also, we wouldn't be doing that if we didn't already love and respect one another,
Sure.
So, I just want to wish him well, and, and this just goes to show that, I appreciate you guys here, in the time that we have here, and it's a good thing. So we should continue to love one another and appreciate one another. It's a good thing because life is short. So
yep.
Yeah. So I just want to just thank you and our viewing audience as well. All right, love you guys too. All right. So this is another episode of the BKBK podcast. Where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. We just want to just thank you guys again for watching. We want to be able to keep bringing you the latest news and viewpoints of where sports and the culture collide and New York Jets reign supreme, like I just said. You can find us on Facebook on our BKBK podcast fan page. You can find us on Twitter at BKBK podcast, Instagram at BKBK podcast, and as well as on YouTube. Just type in BKBK podcast. Hit the like and the subscribe button just to show the love and to be able to access our shows whenever. And also, you can, if you're driving your car or something, you just want to hear a podcast while you're moving and shaking, why don't you just go to BKBK at Podomatic.com. All right? So, everyone, thank you so much. Let's go BKBK podcast. Let's go New York Jets. And let's go Baldwin Bruins. All righty? Have a great day.